Hello, everyone, and thanks for tuning in. Today, we're going to talk about a new update actually that came on May 30, sorry. And today it's 4th of June, the time I record this video. For some reason, I'm actually expecting Flutter Flow emails, but fortunately, it seems that I'm missing those in the community. So sorry that I'm being late with this update. Uh, it's not, to be honest, it's not like a super exciting update. It's mostly like on the background update and mostly like covers update and something like that. But nevertheless, we're going to talk about that because I think there is something interesting. There is actually a lot of interesting things I might say. I will actually say, not might say, I will say in this video. And like always, before we begin, I just want to say thank you very much for all the people who have actually subscribed to my channel and all the people who are actually paid members to my channel as well. Yeah, I'm trying to reach 5,000 subscribers. So if you haven't if you haven't subscribed already, please do. So I can reach my goal and actually try to stream every week on Wednesday in my Discord channel. Great. So let's jump into this today update. So the first thing that we're going to talk today is upcoming Flutter version package updates. And there is a video, 5 minutes. It's actually a very detailed video explaining what are Flutter, what is Flutter Flow using Flutter version, how you can check that, everything that you need to know about the packages and the versions of the packages, how you can use that as well. It's very informative. If you like haven't watched it, or if haven't like worked with packages before, it's very informative. I recommend you to watch it. If you have worked with packages, I think you already know that, to be honest. I also have made a video like a long time ago about how to resolve the failed runner running Flutter error. If you haven't watched that already, please do. It's a 12-minute video, but I'm actually explaining how you can get rid of this error. And essentially, is actually using not using the default or a static version, but just use any for the version number. But I'm explaining that in details in this video. They haven't actually mentioned that in this video. I don't know why. I don't know what was the reason for not mentioning that in this video, but I think this is the core. So, like I did a video about. I'm talking actually about this video, Flutter 3.19, how to prepare to migrate your project. This is actually a good watch as well. It's 12 minutes, not that long. But essentially, again, I'm talking about how you can actually switch to any when you're using your packages. Like I said, I don't know why they haven't mentioned that in the updates, but I think this is the key actually, to not use the strict version. Also, they had actually a possibility in the past. So when they changed to Flutter version 19, you had actually the possibility to run a test mode, or I think local run was not there yet, but for sure you had like a possibility to run test mode, with the new version of the Flutter, so you can actually check and test your version, if the app will actually run after the upgrade. They haven't talked like here in this video which version of Flutter they're going to use, but this actually was actually very good, that you were able to actually run your Flutter Flow project with the version that they're going to actually use. Like I said, I don't know why they haven't implemented that, and they are not talking about which version they're going to change. But yeah, let's see. So this is everything that you need to know about the upcoming Flutter version and package update. So let's move on. So let's talk about the gradient covered by variable. It's actually a great improvement because right now, if it's coming from variable, like technically you can get this color from this color can actually be dynamic. Not only can be from variable, but it actually can be a dynamic, which means that you can actually change and make it like dynamic, like the gradient will be dynamic, which is actually you can create a cool effects with that. This can come from page state, from app state, from component state, from Firebase, or from Superbase in the future when they upgrade the package of Superbase, so it can actually support real-time database. That would be great. Real times, not database, but real time queries is what I meant. So yeah, there is not a lot that I can show you with that because I think you're getting the point. It's not that a lot into it. It's very simple. Just put like an app state and then change it, or page state probably is better. Then change it dynamically, and the color will actually change. So you can play with that as well. And let's move on. And the next thing is actually basically the same thing. It's a pie chart color by variable. And the other thing that I wanted to mention actually is that you can actually see that more and more widgets, more and more native Flow widgets are actually having those from variable. So I think the whole idea in the future is that every single time when you can actually use a variable, the variable should be actually dynamic, or you can use it as by variable as a variable, and it could be dynamic. So for example, in this case over here, you can have the border width, but the border width is static. So you can actually write it once and that's it. Or for example, the pie chart radius, it's 100. You can write it once and that's it. So I think in the future, what Flow needs to do and what Flow is actually trying to do is to make those variables actually dynamic. So the whole idea is that when the variables are all dynamic, they can actually, I think they can actually open this to the public, to the users, to the Flow users, so they can actually build on top of that, create their own versions, add to this version of the widget, and so on and so forth. So the idea is to expect more and more the native widgets to have by variable. So choose this orange icon over here when it says border color, for example. So let's see if you actually see some place. It would be interesting for me to just write in the comments if you see some place that was lagging or lacking. Sorry, the orange icon, and now there is the orange icon. Let me know in the comments below. It will be interesting for me. The next thing we're going to talk about is merge conflicts via conflict diff view. So Flow actually made some changes and they added this view. Uh, so basically view the difference between what it was and what is the new version. It's very informative when you actually have um, we're actually using the branching. I'm a freelancer. I'm the only guy. I don't have a team or something like that. So probably that's why I'm actually not using I'm not using this functionality. But for people who are actually using this functionality, I think that this is great enhancement. There is also like a documentation about it, how you can use it, and everything that you need to know about it. But yeah, it's interesting as well for me if you are actually using branching for what you're using branching, and a person like me who is not using branching, it will be interesting to know what you're using and how you're using it. And yeah, let me know so I can probably use it. And the last big major thing that we're going to talk today is expose Flutter Flow, manage Flutter 2. And it says here, Flutter Flow now makes it easier than ever to use the same Flutter environment for both developer and debugging by exposing the Flutter Flow manage Flutter binary. you can maintain consistency across your deployment process by using the same Flutter version for editing and running your code. Opt for the Flutterflow run command in the CLI, or set up your IDE to leverage this managed environment directly, ensuring seamless transmissions and fewer versioning issues. So to be honest, I haven't like had like any issues. I think with the Flutter, I think the most issue that you can have is that if you're running a different Flutter version than the one that Flutterflow it's actually running, and if you want to run it locally and have different version, that will actually make some conflicts. For example, also I think I had some conflicts for some reason about running a different version of Java as well on my local machine, which I had to actually downgrade my Java in order to run a few apps. But that is it happens only once, and I think like you probably already know that when you actually download the code from Flutterflow, or when you're working with Flutter in general, to run the app, you need to write Flutter run, and it will run the app. Of course, if you have like a virtual um, a virtual mobile phone, for example, or a physical mobile phone, it will run the app. And they actually made now to run it using Flutterflow run. And if you haven't, because I don't see a documentation for that, and I think it's I think for that particular thing there should be like a documentation for that. And if you don't know what they're talking about, they're actually talking about this package, which is Flutterflow CLI. And you need to actually download this package in order to use the Flutterflow run command in your machine. It says here that it works for Android, iOS, Linux, Mac OS, and Windows. Um, and I actually have a great video about how you can install the Flutterflow CLI and actually use my own version of the Flutterflow run. I calling it the Linux version. I call it the Flutterflow Linux unofficial version, but it's actually you can run it on Mac as well. There's nothing stopping you from running on Mac as well, but of course you have the native Flutterflow um, local run in Mac, so technically you don't need it. But if you want to give it a try, you can do that. But the reason I created is for Linux users, actually, because I'm a Linux user. So that's why I have created that. So, like I said, I'm talking like more in details about the Flutterflow CLI package because I'm using that package. So, yeah, there is nothing more that I can think I can talk about that. And the last thing that I'm going to talk about is other improvements. Updated free user projects permission. Permission. So what that means is that if you are Flutterflow free member, they actually right now suspend you from making your project public, or to actually share a public link to your project. And the reason the Flutterflow team have actually mentioned is that there are a lot of phishing website coming from Flutterflow. So because Flutterflow it's that easy, people can actually very easy, like for 5-10 minutes, can actually go and create a phishing site or some kind of like site that is not doing like good, and then just share the link to it so people can actually uh, technically use it. So that's why they decided, okay, at least for a free user, because everyone can actually create an account like with a basic email, which is not very trackable. And then they decided, okay, let's do it for paid users only. So if there is something like suspicious going on with the account, at least we can track it more better. with the payment details. And like in general, like less people will actually probably do that if it's a paid account. um, but yeah, if you're affected by that, that's the reason why. It sounds logical, so I think I'm supporting that. uh, but yeah, that's the other one. Fixed further flow tutorial bugs. Yeah, I'm not using the tutorial, so I'm not sure what the bugs are, but it's appreciated. And then fixed component page back navigation. I'm not sure what they mean by that. I don't know if there are like issues with the back navigation. Like technically, the back navigation is just running go route or pop. I think that's the whole idea. It should be relevantly simple, but still, that's the idea. And then if you have any issues with Flow, of course, support them in their GitHub tracker. And this one is actually that they're hiring. So it's as a technical support engineer role. To be honest, I'm actually considering if I want to apply. I have a once applied. Fun fact: I have actually once applied for Flow job. That was like a year ago or something like that, and they actually have denied me. The reason they said is that they were looking for a person that is living in the States, which is weird because after that I saw that they hired a lot of people not living in the States. That's why actually I'm thinking, should I even apply for that job or not? Um, yeah, let me know in the comments what you think, guys, because I'm a passionate Flow user, and I'm thinking that first of all, the job will probably suit me great because I know a lot of things about Flow, and secondly, I actually want to do this job. The reason is that I think I'm going to like do good for Flow and just do my best to optimize Flow, and I see like a lot of holes that can be filled. So yeah, I don't know. Let me know what you think about that, guys. And then like everything that there is pros and cons. So yeah, maybe the downside will be if for some reason Philiflow would tell me, if they hire me for some reason, Philiflow would tell me, oh, stop with your videos, and like it should be always positive, which yeah, I don't think that I'll be able to do that. But yeah, let's see. Let's move on to the new features we're working on. It says recursive components, which is great actually. I think the use case is that if you have posts and then you have comments inside posts and then you have comments inside the comments, so you say, for example, the reply, when you reply to a comment inside a comment, so you have, so that's can be like a recursive component. So it's the basically is that you want to use the same component inside this component, but it's still they're working on it. It's actually in the beta version, so it's not long. It's not like long ago from releasing it. And then the last thing, actually, it's debugging tools. Debugging tools, oh my god, I will actually tell you that this is actually going to like flip for the flow from upside down. It's a great tool. It's amazing to actually. And I'm not going to talk about that like in details, and I don't want to spoil something, but I'm just going to say that it's an amazing tool. I'm already preparing like a video for that because it deserves like a separate video. So by the time they release it, I will make sure that I have a video already prepared for you guys. But oh my god, it's amazing too. I don't know why they haven't put it like on top. Why they have put the recursive component before the debugging tools. But yeah, I think that's it for today. And lastly, I want to just say thank you very much again for all the paid members of my YouTube channel. That actually means a lot. If you consider to be a paid member, and you want to be, like, let's say, for example, fanatic, you will be able to have access to a lot of videos that are only right now currently locked to only my paid members. Like currently, I think there are more than 30 videos, but in the future, there will be probably more. And I really want to just say a special thanks to Matthias Salomon. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly, which is actually an elite. He decided to use uh, to be a Flutter Flow, not a Flutter Flow, to be a Clutter of Elite. So it's much appreciated. Thank you very much for that. The Elite is the highest tier of my membership. So if you want to have a shout out at the end of each video that I'm doing, please consider also to be an elite member. So thank you very much, and I will see you in the next video. Take care. Bye bye.